Now let us know something about string functions in Visual Basic. For that you should know that what is meant by a string in VB. Now when we type a single character, suppose A or B, then it is called as a character, single character. And when we write a complete word, like I'm typing here computer, so here this computer becomes a string. So what we call as a word in English is referred as a string in computers. Now there are few examples of string functions in Visual Basic which we are going to learn now. Let us have a look at this question now. What do you mean by string functions in Visual Basic? The string functions are those functions which perform the desired action on the character string. So if you have taken string as a computer, then taking few characters from left side, taking few characters from right side, calculating its length, all these operations can be done on that string. We will see that one by one through example. Before that, we can have look at one more question, that is, why do we require library functions in Visual Basic? So library function means the functions which are available in Visual Basic and we can use them easily and get the output of it. String function are one of those. Like that we have date time functions and many other functions, but here we are going to learn only about string functions. So this library functions, what do they do? Visual Basic offers a rich set of built-in functions for controlling strings, dates, times and numbers. Built-in functions actually save time and efforts of the users. So these built-in functions are for us to save our time because they do our work easy by calculating its length, by taking few strings out of it like that, or by giving the current date and time of the system. So let us see this. We are going to learn ltrim, rtrim, len, left, right, mid, string and string reverse. Now if suppose I have got let us have directly it in Visual Basic. I am copying this. Let us start with the Visual Basic string. Already program is available here. Now input box, till now we have not seen what input box is, so I am putting that in comment, or rather let us have a new command button, and on its click event I am writing code now. So whatever functions I have seen, we'll write this and let us see how to use them. Now for that, again as an input we will take string which is typed in this text box. Now this text box name is text1. So whatever string we type here, the action will be performed on that string. So that string we need to declare one more string integer. So dim str, any name can be given to it. It is not str only, any name which you feel easy or comfortable with. So I am writing dim str as string, and then in this str we will save the value, not the value, the text which is entered in text box 1. So I am writing here text1 dot text. Now let's take example that computer is taken. So print ltrim and in the bracket str comma. Now what is the syntax? It will trim the left side characters. Other functions I am putting all of them in comment because we are going to see one function at a time, and you can convert that line into a comment by putting single quote in the beginning. So when you click on this command 2 button, only these statements will be executed and this will be skipped off it. So they are treated as comments. So we will see one command at a time. Let me execute this now, and I will type here now the word computer. I'm clicking on command and the string is displayed as it is. Then what is the function of ltrim? Ltrim means trimming of extra blank spaces from left side. Now left side of this string is this. I'm putting 2 blank spaces in the beginning, and now I am clicking on command button. So your word is displayed with by removing the 2 spaces which are entered here. If we don't use this ltrim, then what will happen? Let us have both those print statements with and without ltrim. So I am writing here print and str. So first we are typing string as it is, and then you are typing the displaying the same string with ltrim command. Let us see this output now. I am writing 2 spaces in the beginning and then computer. So you can see here, first the output is displayed with this str only, normal print statement with str. It displays with spaces, and ltrim is cutting out the extra blank spaces from left side. Same is the case with rtrim. So let us add one more command to it. I am writing print rtrim and str. So this function will work if there are blank spaces at the right hand side. If not, then the string will be displayed as it is. Let us execute code again. 2 spaces in the beginning, now computer, and 2 spaces afterwards. Now if I click on command 2, this is normal. Then this is with ltrim and blank spaces at the right hand side. This is with rtrim and left places are as it is. To come out of this, there is one more function which is not available in the book. We can use as print and trim. So this will trim left side and right side, both the places. I'll take same example, same word with 2 spaces in the beginning and 2 spaces at the end. Now I'm clicking on command button. So this first computer line is printed as it is because of this str. This ltrim is trimming from left side, rtrim has trimmed from right hand side, and trim has trimmed from both the sides. This is how it makes difference. Let's move ahead with the length command, which calculates the length of the statement. So here length of string, so whichever string variable. Now you all know that this str holds the text which is entered in the text one, so keep that in mind. Let us again give print statement in the beginning and see how it displays the length. If you want, you can put comment in these previous statements also, so that you will not get confused. Now we all know that what is this ltrim, rtrim and print. So I am putting it in comment. So now whatever will be displayed will be only the string and the len command effect. Run the statement and again computer, and computer has got 8 words. Now this len command also calculates the blank spaces, if any, before or after. Now again this, it is adding 2 blank spaces in the beginning, and the length of the string displayed is as 10. Let us move ahead with the left and right commands. Now this left and right commands are used to extract few characters from left side or from right side. So the syntax of this command is, let us directly print the statement, print left and the string, so and number of characters. Suppose I want first 2 characters of the string, and execute and type the string. Click on the command. So here this is because of length, you all know that, and this CO means string, whatever we type of that string, 2 characters from left side, that is why CO. If we use right command, 2 characters from right side, then ER will be displayed. Again, it also considers the blank spaces if left in between. Let us see again this right command also. Print right, syntax remains the same, the name of the string and number of characters to be. Now here instead of 2 you can write 3, 4, whatever number you wish to print. I am putting this in quotes now. Type the text and 4 characters. So here comes left side 2 characters, that means CO, and right side 4 characters, so UTER. If in case you enter blank spaces, then it will display blank in that case. And 2 blank, and I'm clicking, so those 2 blanks and ER are displayed in this right statement. Now this is about extracting few characters from left side and right side. You can also write the code where you can extract the middle part of any string, and for that we use mid string. Again the way you write is same, print mid part of which string, so it is str, and how many characters you want to extract. So here I will give, I want from second position, I want 3 characters. Now let us see the effect. I'm taking, no, we need to take big length string. We cannot use text only. Okay, now our string is again computer, from second position 3 characters. So what is the output? OMP, because O is the second position character, and from that second 3 characters, so it gives me OMP. It also considers the blank spaces and shows output accordingly. The next function we are going to see is string function. Before that I will put this statements in comment, and let us move on to string now. Print string, now number as long and character. So how many times you want to print? I am writing 5 times. And what do you want to print? I am writing small a, and let us see the output now. So here a, whatever string we give in double quotes, again whatever you type in double quotes is considered as a string. So that string will be printed 5 times if it is in double quotes. This is how this works. If you increase these characters, we'll have to stop this program first. So I'm ending this, increase or write this string, again execute and again click. So instead of these double quote strings, you can also write the ASCII code of it, of any character. It will display that. Now it is displaying capital A because 65 is the ASCII code of capital A, that is why it is displaying. So if you are writing any ASCII code over here, it will display that as an output, and if you are putting any character within double quotes, it will display that character as it is. Next is the string reverse. As the name suggests, it will reverse the string whatever you type. So print string reverse and this string to be reversed. That's it. Now here you notice one thing, that for string function we have not used any text box entry. Rest all functions we have used this text entry. Here also you can do it, but I have shown you the example without it. String reverse str, again execute the code, type the string. I am taking the same string now, and you can see here 1txet is the string reverse. Now this happens because of the function string reverse. That's all about the string reverse function and other functions which are there in your curriculum. So this is left trim, right trim. Then we take length to calculate the length of function, length of string. Left and right to extract few characters from left or right side, and mid to extract the number of characters from middle part of a string. So here we have to mention the starting position and the number of characters. String to print string and string reverse to reverse the string. Let's move on to the next question, that is define the term dialog box. Now dialog box is a new term which you are coming across. Two types of dialog boxes we are going to study. One is input box and other is message box. Let us see that through example first, and then I will come back to this question to explain theoretically. I am moving back to this screen. Again, as usual, one command button. First of all, we'll see the message box. Now message box can be used to display any message. I'll take one command button. Sorry, it is already taken. I'm double clicking on it, and I want that when user clicks on this command 1, welcome message to be displayed. So I will write msgbox, and in the bracket I'll write the message which I want to display. Welcome to Visual Basic Programming. It should be in double quotes. That's it. Execute the program and click on this. Now message box, this is what happens when you use message box function. The window, the dialog box of message box appears in the center of the screen, and whatever we write in the double quotes gets displayed in this. We have to click on OK, and then the message box window disappears. This is what is message box. Another dialog box we are going to use is input box. As the name suggests, input box allows you to take input from the keyboard. Now, till now what we have done, we have taken input through text boxes. Whatever we type in the text box gets displayed on the screen. Suppose I have got text box here, and what I want to display whatever is there. So I'll write print text 1.text. Execute, and if I click here, that text gets displayed here or gets stored somewhere. Instead of text box, we can have another alternative which is called as input box. So I'm putting this print statement in comment, so that won't be executed now, and input box in the bracket. Prompt means message what we want to display. Please enter any number, and now what I want, that whatever number is entered should get saved in some variable. So I am declaring one string variable. So dim num as string. Now as I have taken string, I will see, please enter your name. And I will save that over here. Num equals to, again this name is mismatch. I'll type your name, and here also I'll give name. Now what happens here, we have declared one string variable which will hold one string, and input box is displaying this. Let us see what happens first. Command 1. When I clicked on this command 1, this window comes because of the input box, and whatever we write within these double quotes gets displayed here, and this will now work as a text box where we can enter our name and OK. So now what has happened, whatever I entered in this input box window has got saved in name. Let us see whether it gets saved or not. That can be checked by displaying through print, or can be checked by displaying in text box or label box. I am using print statement, which is very simple to use. So this comes because of input box and the same gets displayed. So here the output of your input box. Now let's go back to the questions and see. Define the term dialog box. So message box and input box, they are commonly called as dialog boxes. So what is a dialog box? The dialog box provides a set of standard dialog boxes for operations such as opening and saving files, setting print options, selecting colors and fonts. And which two dialog boxes we have studied? They are input box and message box. So what is input box? It displays a command prompt in the dialog box and returns what is given by the user. So what we have seen the example, typing of name, and it is given back. Similarly, message box, it displays a message in a dialog box and returns a value indicating the command button that was clicked by the user. Let's move on to the next question, next topic, that is arrays. Let's understand first what do you mean by an array. I'll explain you in this question only. You can always imagine memory as a block, and here whatever we say. If I write the statement dim a as integer, then I get, imagine that these blocks are the memory blocks, and this statement gives me one block in the memory, and I save something over here, and this block gets the name A. So this block is labeled as A, and what we have stored in it is number 4. Okay, so this div A as integer gives me one block. What in case if I want to enter 10 numbers, 100 numbers or 1000 numbers? It is not possible to give comma and write those many variable names. It is okay for few numbers but not for the bigger number. So in that case we have to use the concept of arrays, where it allows us easy declaration of memory locations. Now let us take example that I want 5 blocks to save 5 different numbers. So here I can make use of, instead of declaring dim a, comma b, comma c, comma d, comma e as integer, I can simply write dim a5, I can write dim a5 as integer. Now this statement gives me total 6 blocks, and whatever number I save there will get saved. I can use a text box to save this, or I can use input box statement as well. Now how come total 5 blocks? We have written dim a5, but we are getting total 6 blocks to save the number, because the array numbering, now each of these boxes are labeled with one position number, and this positioning always starts from 0. So this number 12 gets saved in A0. So A0 position, now this A should be in small. This A0 is holding the value 12. A1 is holding the value 23, and like that it continues. So array numbering indexing always starts with 0th position, and then it will go on till 5. That is why from 0 to 5 you get total 6 blocks to store the numbers. And how we can differentiate between them? By their position numbers, that is A0, A1, A2, A3, like that. And this is what is meant by array. Now what's the definition of it? an array is a consecutive group of memory locations. What you have seen here, consecutive group of memory locations that all have the same name and the same type. Means A is the same name and integer is the same type. To refer to a particular location or element in the array, we specify the array name and the array element position number. So again I am reading this. To refer to a particular location, suppose it is 32. So what we do, we specify the array name, that is A, and the array element position numbers. So now in this case, what is the position number of 32 is 2, because 0, 1 and 2. So an array is a consecutive group of memory locations that all have the same name and the same type. To refer to a particular location or element in the array, we specify the array name and the element position number. Now there are two types of arrays in Visual Basic: fixed size arrays and dynamic arrays. To understand the concept of fixed size array and dynamic array, let us take an example of any classroom. If we have a fixed number of students to be seated in one classroom, suppose it is 40, then we can use fixed size array and we can declare it as dim students. You can label it as a students, 40 as integer. So in that case, we get total 40 blocks of memory to store the roll numbers of 40 students. You can take it as a roll number or the admission number which is given to you. So in case when there is no chance to increase the number of array, we want 40 means 40 only. In that case, we can use fixed size array. Now consider the another situation, that in your class there is a capacity of 40 or 50 students and the new student can be added. So in that case, if you have declared as dim numbers 40 as an array and you want to increase, if required, you want to increase the capacity of your array, limit of array, in that case dynamic array is to be used. So what's written here? Dynamic array. The size of the array can be changed at the runtime size changes during the program execution. So we can change the size of the array, we can increase the number of memory locations, and in case of fixed size, when an upper bound is specified in the declaration, a fixed array is created. The upper limit should always be within the range of long type. Now forget about all these terms, just remember fixed size array means where the number of memory locations we need are fixed, and dynamics where there are chance of increasing or we may increase the size of the array at runtime. Now how can we reinitialize the dimension of array? We can use redim to reinitialize the dimension of the array. Means once it is declared and you want to reinitialize it, then redim is to be used before the array declaration. So here redim customer 1000 as string. So here we are able to enter 1000 strings where the array name is customer, and redim means you are redimensioning it. So previously it can be 500 or 100, but now you are increasing the limit of it. So imagine that there were 100 customers before and now you want to increase that customer limit to 1000. So you are declaring it as that redim customer 1000. So here 900 more customer names can be added. Now there is a problem in this case that there were 100 customers in the beginning. The names of 100 customers were entered and it is stored in the array, and now 900 more entries are to be done. But while doing the 900 new entries, we need to keep the 100 customers record as it is. So if we want to do that, so whatever was the previous content of the array, we need to retain it. Then in that case, this criteria is follows, that is redim, preserve and customer 2000. Here they have taken 1000 as a basic limit. So here we are adding 1000 more blocks, and not by deleting the previous 1000 entries. So here the question goes as, what is the use of preserve keyword in VB? And the answer is, the use of preserve keyword option in Visual Basic is to change the size of an array without losing the previous data. So in this case, the names of first thousands customers will remain as it is, and 1000 more blocks will get added after that. So these are the important terms over here. How can we reinitialize? Now reinitialization and preserve keyword, they will come into picture in case of dynamic arrays, and in case of fixed size arrays we have seen the example. After seeing this single dimension, now again this is a single dimensional, and we can have multi-dimensional array as well. So there is a question that multi-dimensional, what is the use of multi-dimensional array? We are not going to go in depth of it. It is just the introduction to you that what is multi-dimensional array. Let us have a look at this memory location which I explained you just before. So here the elements gets stored in contiguous memory location. So this is one dimensional array, and when you have the locations increase like this, like suppose you want to store 3 names, then not names, it can be names or integer. So here it will go like this. So you are not only taking one line, but you are also inserting columns also. So here it goes like this, and how to read this is, now this is multi-dimensional array with the dimensions 3 rows and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. So it is 3 into 6. But as you know that the declaration, the positioning of array starts from the 0th position. So it will be 0, 1, 2. So 2 rows and 5 columns. So the declaration changes as 2 rows and 5 columns. So this is what is multidimensional. You can call this as a declaration of multidimensional. This is just for the knowledge, for the information, not to be used practically or not to go in depth of it. So here, what is the use of multidimensional array? Arrays can have multiple dimensions. A common use of multidimensional arrays is to represent tables of values consisting of information arranged as rows and columns. To identify a particular element, we must specify 2 indexes. The first identifies the elements row and the second identifies elements column. So same example, again I am going up to explain you. So these are 3 rows. So if you want to identify this 67, you can write row number 3, row number 2 and column number 4. So it will be A 2, 4. So it will directly take you to this position.